From Eyewitness News, this is breaking news.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eyewitness News. I'm Aaron Perlman. We're following breaking news this afternoon where former President Trump is now heading back to his New Jersey golf club to rally with supporters and meet with campaign donors tonight. In fact, he plans to having a press conference there this evening. Now, what I want to do is bring in political analyst Matt Klink. Matt is a partner at California Strategies, keeping up with today's event. Matt, thanks for joining Eyewitness News.
Oh, thanks, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
All right, a couple of things I want to first bring up. You and I were just talking outside of the commercial break. And one thing you brought up to me is that this moment right now, this is the strongest point that the prosecutor actually has for today. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The grand jury, when it convenes, they only hear from the prosecution. There are no defense witnesses. There are no defense attorneys. So this is Special Counsel Jack Smith's opportunity to lay out the strongest case possible about what former President Donald Trump did. Now becomes the real battle in the courtroom and in the court of public opinion. Inside the courtroom, the Trump defense team is going to try to chop out some of those 37 counts to make the case smaller. And they're going to argue for things that are admissible, i.e. some of the classified documents, and non-admissible in a court of law.
So let me ask you that, Matt. Let me ask you today's arraignment then, just in general for everybody watching. What does it mean then for former President Trump?
Well, it starts the process. So, the Justice Department files their documents. Trump now comes in and says, I plead not guilty to 37 counts. And now they set up the arguing for what the courtroom trial will look like. That's not going to be quick, and it's going to cause some big problems for the Justice Department and for the special prosecutor, because the Justice Department is not supposed to influence the political process. And Donald Trump is the leading Republican candidate for 2024 right now.
It's interesting you said that, because they appointed Judge Eileen Cannon, who was a Trump appointee, to be the judge in this case. But you're saying that you don't think it's going to go fast, even though Jack Smith, who is leading the prosecution, he's actually saying he wants a fast trial.
Of course, Jack Smith wants a fast trial. But remember, the Trump team, Donald Trump doesn't even have attorneys for this lawsuit yet. So he needs to get that settled first and foremost. Second, it's going to take them a while to prepare a case, and then they're going to go in and argue. And even though Trump did nominate the judge in this case, that judge is going to, obviously, she's cognizant of the historical aspects of this case. She's going to want to run a very, very above board trial and make sure that there are no question marks in this trial. So the defense team is in the driver's seat right now in terms of slowing this thing down so they can get the information they need to manage the case against the president.
What do you think that looks like here? You have your lead defense attorney, Todd Blanche, and Chris Keese, as they have, of course, the president trying to run. You mentioned going to do the primaries in less than a year in Iowa. Does this affect that campaign?
It doesn't affect that campaign from the sense that Trump will still be campaigning, but it does impact his ability to engage. Let's not forget that this is one of, and right now, two court cases that the president is involved in. The other one is a high-profile case in New York with Alvin Bragg that he brought over Stormy Daniels. That is clearly a politically motivated case. And then there is another case that will likely be brought this summer in Fulton County, Georgia, regarding the 2020 election, which also has political implications. So the judge in the Miami case, in the federal case, is going to have to, juggle 3 different court dockets. Wow. Plus, they can't stop Donald Trump from running for president. Maybe that's what the Biden Justice Department wants, but ultimately that's not going to happen.
Let me ask you this question here. CBS News, they just put out a poll showing if the election was held today, former President Trump would be the top choice for Republicans. He wins with a 62% of that vote. What does that tell you?
It tells me that a significant percentage of Republican voters believe that the Justice Department and the FBI is politicized against the president. We've seen when Donald Trump was president and even after, things that we were told by Adam Schiff, things that were absolutely true about collusion have proven to be not true. And I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump's numbers actually go up following today's court appearance. Now, the challenge is the long run, though. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, our local congressman and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, he took to Twitter last night saying he says, "We have a sitting president who possessed classified documents dating back decades to his time as vice president and as a senator, yet he is now weaponizing the federal government to go after his leading political opponent." So I guess the question is here, where is the equal justice under the law, end quote of what he says. Is this a double standard, and do we see any of President Biden's former documents as vice president get put into this case?
Well, the documents for Joe Biden, the vice president doesn't have the broad authority that the president does. So there is a double standard. But let's be clear. The problem that Donald Trump has is that today's appearance in court is entirely due to his own challenges at following direction and working things out with other people in government. So both can be true, that there is a double standard when it comes to justice between Republicans and Democrats. And this is a situation of Donald Trump's own making. Donald Trump must take this federal case very seriously. I mean, look, if he gets convicted on even one of the 37 charges, it's a death sentence for him. He's an 80-year-old man. If he's in prison for 10 years, he doesn't get out till he's 90. So he has to sweep it. He has to go 37-0 in this trial. So I would hope that the former president takes this very seriously, but it's not going to impact his political chances in 2024. In fact, I think it makes him a stronger Republican candidate.
In fact, it's not just this trial, but as you mentioned, he has that other one in New York and the potential one in Georgia. Matt Klink of California Strategies, we really appreciate your time and love to bring you back on again.
Anytime. Thank you. This is historic and it's sad at the same time.
Absolutely it is. Thank you.